If there's one drink that has stood as the soul of humanity's grandest feasts, it is wine. With more than 8,000 years of history, every drop carries the weight of tradition, the essence of nature, and the brilliance of human craftsmanship. Wine is not just a drink, it is the very taste of time, lingering on the tongue like a memory carved in liquid form. But here lies the question: how does the world produce millions of tons of this legendary nectar each year? The answer takes us on a mesmerizing journey, from sun-drenched vineyards to state-of-the-art wineries, where earth, sky, and time converge to create what many call the immortal drink of the gods. The journey begins in vast vineyards, where clusters of grapes shimmer under the golden sun. With each harvest, a choice is made. Some grapes will transform into sweet raisins, crystallized gifts of light and time, while others are destined for a far more enchanting fate: fermentation into wine, a shimmering liquid that blends sophistication, artistry, and ancient tradition. France, often hailed as the wine capital of the world, sets the gold standard. From Bordeaux to Champagne, France produces over 4.5 million tons of wine annually, weaving together culture, art, and agriculture into an inseparable legacy. Here, winemaking is more than a trade. It is a tradition passed down through generations, a symphony of human hands and nature's bounty. But wine's story is also filled with mysteries. Consider ice wine, crafted from grapes that freeze at 7 degrees Celsius. Harsh frost extracts the water within, leaving behind a rare concentrated nectar that is pure sweetness in every sip, a vivid testament to how nature transforms hardship into beauty. Yet, in the world of luxury wines, shadows linger. Nearly 20% of the luxury market is believed to be counterfeit, with even the finest Bordeaux and Burgundy sometimes forged. Still, bottles of these legends fetch millions at auctions, often left unopened, because a single uncorking could shatter both value and illusion. And so, like all legends, the story begins once more among the vines. As autumn arrives, breezes sweep across the rows, golden light ripens the fruit, and harvest season begins, the first notes in an endless symphony. In countries like the United States, especially California, responsible for over 90% of America's grape production, advanced machines harvest grapes with remarkable speed. Equipped with vibration systems and sensors, these machines gently shake ripe grapes loose without harming the plant, collecting up to 9 tons per hour while preserving flavor and freshness. But in Europe's Old World vineyards, France, Italy, Spain, the harvest remains largely by hand. Workers with patience and precision clip grapes at peak ripeness, carefully laying them in baskets. This traditional method may be slow, but it preserves the integrity, shape, and flavor demanded by premium wines. Yet not all grapes end up in bottles. Some are transformed into raisins, nature's candies. In sun-drenched regions like California, Turkey, and Iran, grapes are spread on mats or racks for weeks under the blazing sun, until their water evaporates, leaving behind concentrated sweetness. Some regions even dry grapes on the vine itself, creating darker, richer raisins. Once moisture levels fall to about 15–18%, the raisins are collected, washed, sorted, and packaged for the world. But now the real magic begins: the transformation of grapes into wine. Freshly harvested grapes arrive at wineries in massive trucks, unloaded into stainless steel tanks, and carried along modern conveyors. And here lies a fascinating secret: grapes are never washed with water. On their skins rests a natural layer of yeast, crucial for fermentation and impossible to replace. Washing it away would rob the wine of its soul. Instead, workers remove leaves, stems, and damaged fruit by hand, ensuring only the best grapes move forward. Next comes destemming, where machines gently separate stems without harming the fruit. Then, advanced optical sorters scan each grape with infrared light, rejecting those unfit for the journey. What remains is perfection, clusters destined to become wine. The grapes are then crushed, but with care. Machines press the fruit just enough to release juice without breaking the seeds, for bitterness would ruin the batch. This juice flows into fermentation tanks, where nature takes over. Over 10 to 30 days, yeast transforms sugar into alcohol, while grape skins rise to form a thick cap. Winemakers must regularly push this cap down to infuse the wine with rich color, aroma, and tannins, a delicate dance of human hands guiding natural transformation. Once fermentation ends, the wine is clarified and separated, filtered of skins and impurities, until it shines bright and clean. From here, the liquid is ready for its most crucial stage: Aging. For fine red wines, aging occurs in oak barrels for 12 months to over 2 years. During this time, the oak softens tannins, imparts unique aromas, and deepens flavor, creating that velvety texture wine lovers crave. Finally comes bottling, the final stage in the journey. Bottles are chosen carefully, green, brown, or clear to shield against light, and in classic shapes like Bordeaux, Burgundy, or Champagne to reflect heritage. Closures vary, too: the traditional cork for subtle breathing, the screw cap for tight sealing, and reinforced corks with wire cages for sparkling wines. Machines can bottle up to 3,000 units per hour, filling, sealing, and labeling with precision, ready to deliver this liquid heritage to every corner of the globe. From vineyard to glass, wine is more than a drink. It is history, tradition, and craftsmanship captured in liquid form. Each sip carries with it the toil of farmers, the wisdom of winemakers, and the patience of time itself. It is both ancient ritual and modern refinement, a drink that speaks of earth and sky, hardship and beauty, legacy and innovation. Corn, one of the most iconic and essential crops in human history, nourishes billions of people across the globe. Every year, more than 1 billion tons of this golden grain are harvested, and from these golden ears come countless mouth-watering products. Yet among all the corn-based foods, one might wonder, how exactly are those perfectly sweet, neatly packed kernels in a can made? Today we reveal the astonishing process behind the creation of 160,000 tons of canned corn at one of the most advanced production facilities in the world. The journey begins in the heart of sprawling cornfields, stretching beyond the horizon. These are not just any fields, they're the lifeblood of corn production, particularly in the U.S., where the Corn Belt, primarily centered in Iowa, reigns supreme. In this region, corn thrives under sunny skies and moist soil. Each crop takes between 3 to 4 months to mature, transforming from tiny seeds into towering green stalks that can reach up to 9 feet tall. It is plump and sweet, but not overly ripe. Farmers only have a few weeks, typically between mid-August and mid-October, to get it right. And timing is crucial. Stock feed or fertilizer, making the process remarkably sustainable. Each harvester can collect up to 150 tons of corn a day, sweeping across fields with astonishing speed and efficiency. Once filled, the bins are emptied into specially designed transport trucks, which then race against the clock to reach the processing plant. Upon arrival at the factory, trucks unload tons of corn onto a massive outdoor conveyor system. To manage the overwhelming volume, ability generate swirling water currents that dislodge any lingering dirt, debris, insects, or plant material. The result is spotless, sanitized corn ready for the next and most critical step: kernel removal. This phase demands extreme precision. Before cutting, trained workers once again inspect each ear, positioning it perfectly on the conveyor belt. The corn is then carried toward high-speed cutting heads, each armed with 6 ultra-sharp blades spinning rapidly. As the corn passes through, the blades expertly shear off the kernels without crushing or mixing in any cob fragments. What's most remarkable is the machine's intelligence. It uses sensors to detect the size of each ear. But automation isn't everything. Once separated, these kernels undergo a manual quality check. Trained workers stand watch, their eyes razor-sharp, inspecting for imperfections. Damaged or discolored kernels, instantly plucked. Undersized pieces, removed without hesitation. It's a task that demands not just focus, but instinct, the kind that only experienced human hands can deliver. No robot can match it. After this scrutiny, the kernels pass through a vibrating sieve system, a mechanical gatekeeper that removes leftover debris, broken bits, and anything that could ruin the final product. Only the best kernels survive this phase, clean, consistent, and glistening, ready for what comes next. Now the corn is primed for blanching, a crucial preservation technique. The kernels are swiftly immersed in boiling water, their brief bath reaching temperatures between 158 to 167 degrees Fahrenheit. This heat treatment isn't just for show. It deactivates natural enzymes that would otherwise dull the corn's color, change its flavor, or ruin its texture over time. For about 4 to 5 minutes, the corn cooks just enough to lock in its freshness, but they can't stay hot for long. Immediately after blanching, the kernels must be cooled to prevent overcooking. Traditional methods use cold water baths. Section of the facility. Another critical step begins: can preparation. Using stainless steel cans lined with a protective tin layer, the factory ensures there's no unwanted reaction between the food and metal. These cans arrive from trusted manufacturers and are handled by flexible robotic arms. They glide smoothly onto a fast-moving conveyor, shining like silver soldiers in formation. But before any corn enters, the cans are taken through a rigorous sterilization process. High-pressure steam cleanses every surface, eliminating bacteria and ensuring each container is food safe. Next, there's a question few people ask: what's the liquid inside canned corn? Contrary to popular belief, it's not just plain water. The liquid is a specially formulated brine, a mixture of purified water, sugar, salt, and acidity regulators. This solution serves multiple purposes. It prevents bacterial growth, maintains the vibrant yellow color, and adds a subtle sweetness that enhances the corn's natural flavor. More importantly, it stabilizes the pH, extending the product's shelf life and keeping it safe for consumption for years. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for: the filling. The sterilized cans glide into position as high-speed filling machines deposit precise amounts of corn. Each can is filled to a specific level of organisms or enzymes, allowing the product to remain stable and safe for up to 5 years. Once sterilized, the cans are rapidly cooled to stabilize the product. Cooling prevents overprocessing and locks in the final texture and taste. But before the corn reaches consumers, it must pass the ultimate test: lab inspection. Randomly selected cans are opened and tested by food technicians. They check for nutritional values, microbiological safety, kernel texture, and color consistency. If even one parameter is off, the batch is flagged. This final step ensures that only the highest quality corn reaches store shelves. Now the last transformation begins: labeling. Robotic arms precisely place the cans onto another conveyor. Stores and warehouses across the country. The corn, once growing quietly in the fields, is now a convenient, delicious, and shelf-stable product, ready to be used in soups, salads, casseroles, or simply enjoyed on its own. So next time you open a can of corn, think about the complex process, the precision, the technology, and the human care that made it possible. What's your favorite way to enjoy canned corn? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing factory journeys. We'll see you in the next video.